Because of various scheduling complexities in filming, the only place in England that looks like northern France is south-east England. And so rather than going to the fields of Flanders, to the actual location of No Man's Land, Steven Spielberg decided to shoot a lot of the stuff that happens in No Man's Land in a 7,000-acre estate between Reading and Basingstoke. And it's owned by the Duke of Wellington, called Stratfield Say. And I was stunned by it because obviously it's private land, and being a Londoner, I tend to sort of bemoan the loss of the English countryside, and that we've built up this country so much that there's not much countryside left. My first day in Stratfield Say, I'm strolling through England's green and pleasant land, and there were just rolling fields and rivers and a lake and these incredible old, I guess now National Trust houses. I mean, an example of kind of the greatness of English architecture and English landscape gardening. It's a really stunning piece of land, and 7,000 acres, and the Duke of Wellington and his family very kindly lent it to Steven for 6 weeks, in which Steven filmed and shot and shaped many of the biggest sequences in the film. So, from my perspective, the cavalry charge in the summer of 1914, which took place in northern France, takes place in Stratfield Say. And essentially it was a big open field, and it must have been maybe a mile across, maybe half a mile. I'd say half a mile, 2 football pitches. And there were some reeds at one end of the field, and the entire unit of the cavalry mount their horses under the cover of these reeds. And Benedict Cumberbatch's character, Major Jamie Stewart, gives the order to charge. And what's astonishing in the film is you see the entire cavalry begin to canter and gallop while they're still in these 8-foot reeds. So it looks like we look a lot smaller than we actually are, and then quite suddenly we burst out of the reeds and into the open field, galloping at full tilt. And it's one of the most exciting things I've ever shot in my entire life. It's one of the most exciting things I've ever done in my entire life. Galloping alongside 120 horses at 30 miles an hour across 400 yards of no man's land, everybody in uniform, the thunder of 240, no, what's 120 times 4? 480. The thunder of 480 hooves in my ears, the sound of 120 stuntmen crying hell fury, hell for leather, towards this German camp. The production designers had built a real, essentially, to a tent, to a campfire, the German encampment. People cooking soup, people polishing their shoes, people polishing their weapons, and the Germans turn and see 120 horses galloping towards them. We chase them through the camp and into the first line of trees of a wood, and the English cavalry think that they're winning. And there we make a few, the English cavalry make a few kills, to be quite honest, and we rout the camp until those who've escaped run back behind the line of trees, and there's row upon row upon row of machine guns, and it becomes like a coconut shy, really. That's a terrible analogy, but it's horrifying, because you realise that the English cavalry don't stand a chance. But it was a really breathtaking sequence and a very, very epic location to shoot at.